Hey, sweet
GetLoveDreamingBeach.com.
3:03 a.m. How are you? I gotta go to sleep. I got work in a few hours. Luckily, work from home, and I don't have to worry about driving anywhere tomorrow. But I will be tired if I don't get rest. But I just wanted to say, I premiered my long, almost 2 hour long video that I took over Saturday. Like, I'm like, hi, it's Sunday. And it wasn't. It was Saturday, but I posted it on Sunday, so it kind of worked out. It's called Bad Clients Plus Coworkers. And so I was watching it, it was premiering, and then this psycho bitch starts writing these really misogynistic things. And she was like saying all this really dumb stuff. I deleted all her comments because I was just like, yuck. So at first she's like, sounds like you're somebody's work wife. And I was like, what? I'm like, no, that's pretty offensive. And then she basically went on this rampage talking about how she doesn't think that women should work and they should stay at home, and women are happier at home, and everything I'm talking about is just proof of that. And then at one point she's like, sounds like you're the problem. So I'm like, oh my God, and then I realized, like, okay, this video sounds like I have had like a million bad clients, and it's all compressed because I was specifically going through years of experiences, thinking about all the different bad clients I've had. And especially in the very beginning, like going on like 5 years ago now, when I was first starting to try to get clients that I was like virtual consulting / assistant, working from home, remote, whatever. And I went through a bunch of different people that, I was only like working with them for like a month or 3 weeks, or, and a lot of them, the ones that I talk about in that video, they were all terrible for whatever various reasons. And, but it was such a good learning experience for me. It really helped me to, I learned from my mistakes. I also learned, one of the things I was saying, it probably got glossed over in the 2 hour long video, that all of the people who ended up being bad clients that I needed to get rid of, they revealed something within our first conversation that clued me in that this person was probably going to be difficult or problematic, or like the guy who left his laptop on the plane and all the stupid shit he did. And he came up, my first conversation with him, I came away thinking like, God, this guy's kind of arrogant as fuck. And ultimately it was his arrogance. It wasn't just his arrogance, it was like he swore he was going to change the world, but it's like, you can't even get off the plane without leaving your $1,000 plus laptop with all your writing on it. That's not very fucking intelligent. And I mean, I'm fully acknowledging, like, I made mistakes. I made mistakes with that lady with the Portugal ticket. I bought the ticket off of Expedia, not realizing that it could get canceled. But then, doing that video made me realize she was driving to her appointment to get her passport and wanted me to get the ticket like while she's on the way. And then she freaked out when it was, okay, it has to be 2 separate one-way tickets. And like, she turned it into such an extreme thing where I was stressed and I was like, missing details. And so, yeah, it really spiraled into this hellish thing. But with her as well, the very first conversation I had with her, my takeaway was, ooh, this lady is difficult. She is going to be a real fucking handful. And, Another thing I've learned is that, like, I'm not interested in clients who they're so disorganized that, like, they just don't know, they can't even get their shit together to give you work to do. That's annoying. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that, like, I did work in the corporate world for many years, and I had to be deference to people who didn't deserve it. And I worked with, like, a shitload of narcissistic fucking people who were really rich and demanding and expected the most and gave the least. And then I got out of that environment after probably 15, 20 years of that shit. I'll say like 15 years. And let me think. Yeah, a good 15 years. And I was like, fuck this corporate life. I didn't even want to be in this shit. And I started to get like eclectic kind of jobs and clients. And then I spent a bunch of years raising my kids, being a stay-at-home mom while I was with my baby's daddy. And then I had to start fresh after many years out of the official workforce and become a single mom with 2 young babies, trying to raise them, trying to make a livelihood. And I really decided, I kind of started from scratch, and I'm just getting myself back to a place where I feel like I was 25 years ago, really. And, gaining the confidence and gaining. So the reason that I put that video out, even though it makes me look bad, I guess, in some way, at least in some people's eyes, like that freaking misogynistic, stupid lady, and she's like, women should just stay at home. And then she's like, I do all these things for my husband. I'm like, good for you, bitch. Like, what the fuck? And she's like, listening to you is just proving to me that I'm right. Women should not be in the workforce. Men just figure it out. Like, really? You don't know the world is fucking crashing because of men right now? But anyway, yeah, there are men who are assholes. There are women who are assholes. And in my video, I literally didn't just talk about women. I did talk, I guess, although most of the interactions I did have that I mentioned did happen to be with women, but there was a guy, I talked about him a lot. And, the fact is, like, and there were some things that I was like, as I was expressing that what had happened, like with the guy when he was like, why did you post something without my approval when we had literally gone over it like 12 different times, and he approved it and was like, go ahead, log in, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, when I was talking about how it was my reaction, and I'm like, what the fuck, you, blah, 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 blah. I didn't really say all that to him like that, that was me just reacting. And then when I talked to him, I'm like, actually, remember I sent you draft number 12 and you had approved it. Maybe you're just really distracted because you're running in and out of a conference and you're trying to do too much at once. I don't know. That lady with the Portugal thing, we did end up having an argument, and it was like the next day, and I was like telling her how I canceled all the problem flights, and I put this whole spreadsheet together for her, and I did all this stuff, and then she's like saying all this crap, and I'm like, you know what, I'm too old and too mature, and I've been through too much, and I've been too independent, and I've been raising kids, and I just don't fucking have it in me to bow down to bullshit, to act like, I'm not going to stand up for myself. And, hey, I've always been like that. I've always stood up for myself. And there are definitely always people who do not like that. There are people who like to assert their power or to try to put you down, try to put you in a small box or something. And when you don't accept it, they don't like that. So, yeah, I've had pushback with people because when people do funky, stupid shit, or they act completely ridiculous, or they have incredibly unrealistic expectations, or they are sabotaging you, or whatever dumb shit people do, dumb shit. Like working with people can be really fucking hectic. And I push back, but you know what? I have clients that I like, and yeah, like I was talking about with Flo, she's got some weird employees, but Flo is my client. She's the one that I care about, not some dumb, weirdos. But anyway, that was just a clarification video.